Wir sind gefördert durch das Ministerium für Wirtschaft, Arbeit und Energie des Landes Brandenburgs aus Mitteln des Europäischen Sozialfonds und des Landes Brandenburg. Vielen Dank für die Förderung und viel Spaß bei den Videos.
Hi, our next guest has a really interesting idea. With their company Birds, they're bringing two worlds together, the world of curious children and the world of science. And how they are going to do it, they will tell us now. Alexa, Luana, nice to have you here.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for the invitation.
I just told our audience that your company's name is Birds, but what does Birds stand for?
So BIRD means Brandenburg Initiative for Research Dissemination, and our mission is actually to support researchers in disseminating their research to children, which they're currently not seeing as a relevant audience.
Okay, and what is BIRD about? How are you going to transmit all this knowledge from science to children?
So we are doing science communication we are taking science communication at a different level by building a bridge between researchers and kids through teachers or parents and through games. And actually the main idea behind it is that we want to increase resilience in children in the face of disinformation, and also bring them a bit closer to research and to science, and to give them a bit of trust in science. And of course this can only be done in a age-appropriate way for children, so that's why we use games.
And maybe to add up on this, just to underline how important the thing is we're doing right now is that by putting these research into games and disseminating this to children, we have the chance to increase trust into science from the beginning on, which is extremely important in terms of the times we are living right now in, because we see a decreasing trust in democratic institutions, and this is, I think, not the ultimate strategy, but one important element in building more societal resilience.
Absolutely. So you were referring to games, and you already brought one game with you. Can you explain our audience a bit more about the game you brought?
Yeah, we brought a game that's called Cuib, and that stands for, that means nest in Romanian, and that's a game in which flows research on migration, but also on climate change and desertification and all this pollution and all these environmental topics. And it's a game where children play with 6 migrant birds, follow these birds on their route around the world, face challenges, and then in the discussions they make the step towards the migration, from the migration of birds to the migration of people, and they reflect on what are the causes for migration for birds and people, and they learn to have more respect towards migrants, or to have more respect for nature. Yeah.
And I think another important aspect is that actually with all our games we want to create in the future, but also with this game, it's not to give the answer at this one truth and this one explanation, but just to trigger reflective thinking and critical thinking in children.
Very important topics and a very important approach how you do it. But how did you get the idea of Birds? Can you explain how you get to this point where right now?
So I think first and foremost we both saw a need that we have to educate children in a different way in order to prepare them for the interconnected and globalized world we are living in, because next to all the benefits this brings, we face major challenges right now. And I think to have the skill and the competence to reflect and think critically about topics and to organize all the things you face also in your daily life within the media or social media, from politicians and experts. It is really important to build a way in which children can understand this and be prepared for the future.
and we not only identified a need of children, but we also identified a potential in children to understand these very, very complex topics. Much more than we credit them for. And also in our work with children, in our experience, we saw that actually they are already kind and collaborative and empathetic. So that's what we want to do, to preserve their kindness and not to allow them to lose it on the way.
Yeah.
And who came up with the idea? How did you find each other as a team and to build up something together?
So I worked for Luana
No.
before. No, I mean, we were both working at the chair of Professor Jürgen Neye for European and International Politics, and I as a student assistant, and Luana as a PhD candidate. And yeah, then she was also my supervisor for my bachelor thesis.
Okay.
So
Nice connection.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so we met each other there and we were researching together and yeah.
And so you both studied here, or you did your PhD here at the Viadrina. So you find each other as a team at the Viadrina.
Yeah, I mean, we find each other here, so we get to know each other here. But then we actually had for a time separate ways. So I went to my master's, but we always stayed in contact.
If you want to put it like this, we were a team as you know, at the chair of European and international politics. We were working on different projects and we were a team there. Then we were a team when we were improving Alexa's bachelor thesis. And then, you know, we were a team already before this.
Yeah, that's true. So I think we already knew each other in a deeper, well, not deeper way, but in a, you know, in a more comprehensive way, in order to knew that we both can work together really well.
That's important.
Yeah.
That's really
That's
important before building up something
Yeah.
together. So, but that's already good for also good for our audience to know that at the Viadrina you can meet somebody with who you are going to build up something big. So the university is important, an important place
Of
to meet.
course, yeah. And I think it's not only about to meet people here, but also that these connections can also be built between, you know, your supervisor and the student. So there is not this hierarchy in that sense, or actually not between us.
And good inspiration for all the audience. But many people who are watching this right now may not know, for example, what work stands behind a project like this. Can you explain us, for example, what you're working right now on and what, for example, challenges you're going to face or are facing right now?
So we are currently in the funding process, so we are having to go our way through all these bureaucratic things and stuff, which is really time consuming, and it doesn't left much space for being creative at the moment. But yeah, we will get this done in due time, and then we will start with being creative again. But before, we want to marketize QIP, and yeah, that's the main part we are right now in, to launch after the founding process our crowdfunding campaign, to bring it to a wider audience.
I think it's, you know, it feels a bit, building a company, it feels a bit like a one-man band, you know, where you're playing drums with your hands and with another hand guitar, and,
Yeah, exactly.
and you are doing a bit of everything all together, you know. So then I think that's a very interesting training now in this growth phase, where we established a company, that we need to know a bit of everything. If things then will settle, that one of us will handle more budget and the other one will handle more, I don't know what. But for now, it's just the two of us connecting in all sorts of discussions, and that's great and also challenging at the same time, because it's yeah.
I think the point is also always something is coming up, you know, and you never plan for it, and actually you plan to do something completely different in that meeting, but then something comes up and you have to restructure all the things.
But that's the interesting part of the way.
Of course, yeah.
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 You said after all the funding process, you get back to be creative again. So do you already have plans where you want to go with birds? How you want to evolve your company?
Yes, I think we both think big.
That's very good.
And we don't want to stay locally, or we don't want to stay with one game. We want to become a major player within the educational landscape, not only in Germany, not only in Europe, but worldwide, because we think that's important for every children to be connected to science in an age-appropriate way. Of course, context specific, because not all children grew up in such a country as Germany. But yeah, so we want to become an institutionalized part in the educational system within schools, within the curricular. And I think that is the major vision we are working for. And in terms of being creative again, I think it is related to producing new games, touching on new topics such as gender equality, or regarding economic aspects and understanding how this is different in other parts of the world, and also when it comes to digitalization, social media, media literacy, all these things are really, really important for us as topics we want to work on.
Wow.
Maybe just to add a bit, it's we are not only thinking wide, but also deep into a deep change we want to create, in the sense that we hope for a structural change. We hope for playful learning to be a reality in school, or a normality in school, and that's why we hope in the future to work close together with teachers, to apply directly to the curricula our instruments, our educational instruments, and then to have tailor-made products for classes to be just implemented in class as such, which probably would support also teachers. And also to touch upon a bit, go back a bit to your question of challenges. I think it's a challenge at the moment to stay focused on the bureaucracy, to put all the new ideas aside and stay focused on promoting the pilot game we have, because it's very easy to slide in. Oh, I have a new idea. Let's do the new game like this. So I think it's that's also part of the challenge. It's very exciting. It's part of the excitement, but also part of the challenges.
Yeah, especially because I mean, this game we have right now will also show us how or which position we can take in the market, and how is the demand for the game, and this will give us insights in how to build up on also for our next games.
I cross the fingers for you. I wish you all the best, because the topic is very important, and I think this is a very good way to transmit the complicated science to children who are already interested, but who would not understand the complicated science, how it is.
And another important part about it is not that it transmits the idea of sustainability, but it also does this sustainably, and that's a very, very important. All our products will be sustainable, will be green, will be with recycled paper, non-mineral paints. All are green products.
Yeah, and fair traded.
I already saw it. Maybe we can show it right now to the audience. Look, it's made from wood. It's made from very good materials, and the first impression I had is, well, this product is sustainable. As I told you, you remember the point when I told you that I think it's very sustainable. If we have right now watching teacher or parents, for example, who said, okay, who say, I'm interested in buying these games for my kids in order to get them to the important things in life, or get them into the important questions, like, for example, migration. Where can they find more information about your company, or, for example, where can they buy the game or the games which come in the future?
So they can reach out to us over our website, and from there we have the possibility to sign up on our waitlist right now, to be informed when we launch the crowdfunding campaign, and also to waitlist where they will be informed about future games. So that will be, I think, the most direct way to do that.
Yeah, and thanks to the Gründungszentrum, we have a website.
Yeah.
So they can write us there. Soon we will launch. We will be on social media as well. But then every important detail will be announced on the website.
And they can find you at www.bird.com, or can you explain
Our Bird.
Yeah, so
ourbird.com.
www.ourbird.de.
We will show this here below the video, so it's easier to get there. Lexa Luana, thank you very much for your time. It was really interesting to get more information about your company, and I wish you all the best. You have a great project.
Thanks for
Thank you
having
very
us.
much.